Hello, and welcome back. In this episode, we're going to install Visual Studio Community on Windows and Visual Studio Code on Windows. And we're going to look at some features that Visual Studio Community has built in. So let's download Visual Studio Community. And we can download the 2019 version, but you can try to also download the 2022 version, which I think is in preview for the moment. So let's see what's in the preview. It comes with .NET 6 already. So let's see Visual Studio Community. So we can download the preview here. And I'm going to click here to install. So it has to be downloaded first. Okay, and here we can select what we want to install. We don't want to install everything, so we can try a .NET Desktop environment. That's nice. We don't want C++ or mobile for the moment. Nothing in gaming, and no Linux stuff. Also Python and not Node.js, not for the moment. We can install ASP.NET and web development. And cloud, not yet. So I think this should be enough. The total space required is 7 gigabytes. So that's quite a lot. Now I'm curious if I would disable this for the moment. Okay, so because we're not doing any web development for the moment, I'm just gonna leave this disabled because we can always come back and enable it. And this is 5 gigabytes. So let's install this. Okay, so I finished installing and now it requires a reboot. So I guess I will pause the video until I reboot and then I'll see you back. Okay, so computer rebooted, and now let's try to open Visual Studio Code. Visual Studio Community. And we have here Visual Studio 2022. Let's see. Actually, this folder is empty, so let me just check this again. Visual Studio 2022 preview. Yes, this is what we want. So I will select not now, maybe later. My personal preference is the dark theme. And finally, we are inside Visual Studio 2022. Now let's try to create a new project. Console application is fine. And this one is made to run on .NET Core. So I guess that is okay. Curious what are the platforms. Here we can select the platforms. Languages, we're interested in C#, and we're interested in console applications. The alternative is the .NET Framework, but .NET Core is fine for the moment. So I will click Next. We'll say Hello World. And this is in .NET 6 Preview, so that's fine. Okay, and finally the program is open. And now if I would run this program, click here on this button, this is debug. And apparently there were some build errors. Run a NuGet package to restore to generate this file. So let's try to do what it says. I will go to Tools, NuGet Package Manager, and Package Manager Console. And in here I will run .NET Restore. Okay, so now if we try to build again, it should build. And it built successfully this time. And we can also try to see the result. And we can see Hello World. And it's nice that it also allows us to see this message and does not close automatically. So I can now close the console by pressing any key. Now, the nice thing about Visual Studio Community or Professional or other versions versus Visual Studio Code is that it comes with all sorts of features built in. So you can have all sorts of projects here, and we can add them directly. We have multiple views, property windows. We can add test projects easily. We have the package manager that you saw here, so theoretically we can add let's say we want to use a library that handles XML or JSON. So you would just go to the NuGet package manager, and here we can search for whatever we're interested in. So let's say I'm interested in JSON. I select this, I install it, and automatically it will add all the dependencies that I need to use JSON. So now if I look in the dependencies, in the packages, we see here Newtonsoft JSON. So it has some extra features, quite a few extra features than Visual Studio Code, but it's also a bit more slow. So advantages and disadvantages. And now let's try to also install Visual Studio Code on Windows. So I will do the same thing that I did before. I will open Chrome. And I'll say download Visual Studio Code. And we want to download it for Windows. I'm using Windows 10. Finished downloading, and now let's install it. It was installed, and now let's launch it. I had previously created a program and uninstalled Visual Studio Code, but now I believe that once I reinstall it, it went to that folder and opened the project that it previously had. I'm guessing the configuration settings for Visual Studio Code remain the same. So I will redo those steps just so you can see how we can create the Hello World project in Windows. It should be the same steps as before. So if I required assets to build a debugger missing from Hello World, sure, we can add them. And I will open a new folder, but to do that I will create a new project. So .NET, oh, I'm sorry, let me go one folder up. So in here I'll say .NET new console hello Windows. Sorry, I believe it should have been like this. And of course without the CD. There we go. And now we can open the folder, File, Open Folder. And in here we should have Hello Windows. I'll just right here, Hello Windows. And if I run it, we see Hello Windows. So this concludes the installation of Visual Studio Community and Visual Studio Code in Windows. Next, in the next video, we will see how we add extensions to Visual Studio Code to do most of the things that we can do in Visual Studio. Thank you, and see you in the next video.